In this box is a MacBook Pro that I paid just $50 for. But there is a catch, which is I bought it sight unseen. I have no idea what condition it's in. I think it's a 2013 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro, but I don't even know that for sure. Although I guess judging from the size of this box, I don't think it's a 15-inch. Well, interestingly, right on top here, I'm seeing a charger and it's MagSafe 2. So I think it's gonna be a Retina. That's a good sign. Oh, it's a little dirty. But there you have it. It is, in fact, a 13-inch MacBook Pro with a Retina display with quite a bit of sticker residue, and we're also missing all of the bottom feet. So that's fun. So before we find out if I got a good deal or if this thing even turns on, a quick word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by the Life N Wave toothbrush. This thing is seriously the most high-tech toothbrush I've ever heard of. Powered by an in-house designed servo, it features 60-degree oscillation and vibration to align with dentist recommendations, and it means I no longer need to move my wrist up and down, I just let Life N Wave do its work. It's just as good as much more expensive toothbrushes. It also uses 0.02 millimeter thick, soft tapered bristles to clean in all areas of the mouth while being gentle on teeth and gums. All this tech leaves you cleaner, with lower noise and better feeling in the mouth compared to other toothbrushes. That means your teeth and gums are going to be well taken care of. But you won't have to take care of the Life N Wave itself because it's thoughtfully crafted with a seamless design that leaves no gaps for debris to accumulate like in other toothbrushes, magnetic fast charging, and nanomolding technology, which is normally reserved for high-end smartphones, to perfectly fuse the handle and the internal components, making it more durable. With the Life N app, you can adjust vibration strength, oscillation range, and oscillation speed. Brush heads are just $9.99 for a 3-pack, meaning you can rely on Wave for years to come. So a big thanks to them for sponsoring. If you want to learn more about the Wave toothbrush, check out the links in the description below. This thing is seriously impressive. And with that, let's get back to the video. So a couple of interesting things that I'm noticing about this MacBook Pro. Number one is that the display lid is not aligned properly. It's actually hanging off the laptop on the right side. Obviously, we're missing all of our bottom feet, and we have quite a bit of dirt around this thing. It's gonna need a cleaning for sure. Let's open it up. Oh no, it's not much better in here. This is really gross, you guys. Oh, it smells too. That's yucky. It looks like it has a real clicking trackpad, so pre-2015. Let's just go plug in our power adapter and see if this thing works. I don't even know if it has an SSD in it. Okay, we've got a light on the charger. Go ahead and power it up here. Well, it boots. That's a good sign. Hopefully this thing won't be iCloud locked. This thing is so gross. I don't know how anyone uses a computer that's this filthy. Now, this is a really old version of macOS. I think we might be running Mavericks here. I mean, look, we've got the register your Mac with an email. Like this, this is really outdated. Sure enough, there we have OS X Mavericks. Let's see if we can learn a little bit more about this thing. We'll go to the About This Mac, and it seems like we are, oh, that's the base model. Yeah, we've got 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. Fun fact, this was the only 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro that was ever offered with 4 gigabytes. When the Retina MacBook Pro came out, it was a premium device, so it had 8 gigabytes of RAM back in 2012, but for late 2013 they wanted to lower the price, so they have this base model with 4 gigabytes of RAM, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, 128 gigabyte SSD. So this thing is the absolute poverty spec 2013 Retina MacBook Pro, but I'll tell you what, it's a Retina MacBook Pro for $50. I am going to have my work cut out for me. This thing needs a lot of attention. Let's make a little list here. Number one, of course, is cleaning it. We gotta get rid of all these stickers. We gotta completely sanitize this thing from top to bottom. Number two, we're going to need new bottom feet because somehow all 4 of them are missing. So that's something we're gonna have to order. Number 3, we need to address the misalignment of the display. That's only a minor flaw, and since I'm probably going to disassemble this computer to really clean it properly, it shouldn't be too hard. And honestly, just because I can, I'm gonna upgrade this thing from 128 gigabytes to 512. So I've placed an order for 1-day shipping to get some bottom feet, an SSD, and an adapter, and that should allow us to make a 24-hour sub $100 Retina MacBook Pro build. This is gonna be a lot of fun, so let's cue the music and get into it. After a quick disinfecting wipe, we'll shut the machine down and start the disassembly process. First thing to do is clear out some of the dust bunnies. This thing honestly wasn't too bad. But with those guys out of the way, we can disconnect the battery and we'll disconnect the display to clean it and align it properly. So we'll take 2 of the 3 T8 screws out of each hinge. And of course, don't forget this sneaky little hinge cover on both sides. I always forget about this thing. Then we'll disconnect the camera and Wi-Fi antennas, and we can stand the machine up on its side and take out those final screws to disconnect the display. And now it's cleaning time. I started by wiping the screen down, but after a couple rounds of this, I was like, this thing is absolutely caked up. So I started scraping off the gunk on the screen. I mean, look at this. It's absolutely disgusting. I've never seen anything like it. So I literally had to scrape down the entire display multiple times. This footage you're watching right now, that's about a 20-minute process sped up here. God, I've never seen anything like it. It was so gross. I hate when people put paper stickers on a laptop because they turn into absolute goop and they take forever to get off. I spent like 20 minutes scraping away at these darn things. Anyway, let's clean the bottom case. Yeah, now it's time for the moment I've been dreading. This disgusting keyboard. It's going to be yet more scraping to get this. I don't even want to know what it is that's between the keys. I mean, look at this. How do you even let a computer get to this point? I genuinely don't understand it. Thankfully, this thing cleaned up pretty easily. I was able to get it taken care of, and we can now reassemble the display, aligning it properly this time so we won't have that wacky overhang, and we can put all the screws back in. All right, it's our next day and our handful of parts have arrived, and that's literally a handful. We've got some rubber feet, we've got a 500 gigabyte SSD, and we've got an adapter. This is super duper easy to do. We'll grab a Torx T5 bit and we'll take out the single screw that holds the SSD in place. Pull that guy out of here. 128 gigs, forget about it. Then we'll just insert the new SSD into the adapter, install that into the MacBook, and put our screw back. Bada bing, bada boom, we're done. Don't you wish it was still this easy? I sure do. Now let's go grab our bottom case because we gotta put some feet on it. And the first thing that we're gonna wanna do here, clean out all of the goopy stuff that's left behind from the old adhesive residue. Get these nice and clean. This is something that more people should do. I always see footless MacBooks running around. We'll press down, make sure it's laying flush. We'll do that 3 more times, and now we've got a MacBook that looks pretty much brand new. I mean, this thing is honestly in pretty decent condition. Now, before I replaced the SSD, I installed macOS Big Sur on the original SSD, because I'm pretty sure this MacBook Pro was never updated from OS X Maverick, seeing as it could not recognize APFS drives. So I did that upgrade and then just imaged the disk onto our new SSD, and through the power of editing, look at that. Hang on, it's Intel. Hey, there he is, attaboy. I mean, look at this, $50 MacBook Pro. Now granted, we did double the price by quadrupling the storage, but I think that's a pretty fair trade. And this thing honestly looks pretty decent now. For a 24-hour build, we took this MacBook Pro from being a pretty dirty looking turd to a really clean looking, very nice machine, and with 4 times the storage, no less. It really just goes to show how much you can do with just a little bit of love for an older machine like that. I'm sure the previous owner thought, hey, this thing is old and crusty and slow. I'm just gonna dump it. I don't want it anymore. But computers like these can still be totally usable. In fact, I wanna hear from you guys. Should I do a video living with this MacBook day to day? We can try to get it upgraded to macOS Sonoma, see what the limits of this $50 MacBook Pro are. Granted, I'm sure it won't be very hard to find those limits. It does only have 4 gigs of RAM. But hey, look, I'm not complaining because we have a fully functioning Retina MacBook Pro with a decent battery for under $100. So I'm definitely happy with how this project came out. These types of deals are becoming easier to find nowadays because people are upgrading to Apple Silicon, which is great, but that also leaves behind stuff like this for other people who don't need or want the latest and greatest machines. And you guys know me, I'm a huge proponent of a good deal and a good dirt cheap MacBook, and this one might be the king of the crop. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Big thanks to you guys for watching, and of course, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you want to see a second part to this series. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.